excited for the lineup.
Yeah.
Good shows that I've seen and some that I'd like to see.
Yes, a lot of good shows. We have a lot of good weather, and you told us about it yesterday. Obviously, this is more like what April should feel like, right, Brittany?
Absolutely. High of 72, sunshine, our average is 73. So right on cue for April 15th. Lots of beautiful sunshine out there today. The winds were still cranking up, of course, staying elevated throughout the day, but those will die down overnight. You can see those still from the speedway. Again, this is elevated, so it's more susceptible to the wind, but you can kind of see this camera shaking there still in Concord. Here's where the cold front is right now. You can see all the areas of cloud cover and, of course, the rain too, well to our north and east. That's the front moving through. So winds still staying elevated. I mentioned this earlier in the newscast, but wind going down overnight will not just, of course, bring the gusts down, but also allow for temperatures to turn a little bit cooler. We peaked in the mid-30s across the Charlotte area, 50s in the mountains, but you can see those die down pretty quickly overnight. The mountains will still see a few spots gusting to 30 overnight, but the reason why they were under a wind advisory was the 50-mile-per-hour winds, which did happen earlier today. I just posted this on social media here, but we, of course, had that report earlier of the fire in Montgomery County. I'm not surprised because of the low humidity and the gusty wind that we had a few pop up today, but there's not as much dry brush because of the rain we had last week. And on top of that, the winds are not staying elevated long term. So this is actually what the fire danger looks like for tomorrow. So moderate across the Piedmont, still on the higher side you can see for the mountains and foothills, but this is pretty average for this time of year. So not super concerned about something our team will certainly be monitoring here over the next few days. We stay pretty low in this range over the next few days, but of course, the longer we go without rain, this could potentially go higher. But at least in the near term, past today with the lighter winds, again, not a significant concern at this point. Temperatures next 2 days, again, at or below average, so very typical April. And then we kind of go into mid to late May with the high temperatures. We're back in the 80s by Friday, upper 80s by Sunday. Now, the averages into the month of April, at least the mid to later part of the month, are in the 90s. So while this will not be close to record values, it's still about 10 to 15 degrees above normal. So again, no jackets probably needed for Saturday or Sunday, whether you're going to Charlotte FC, the Knights, or getting out and about for some Easter egg hunts. The pollen, of course, going up too, especially with the windy and warm weather the last few days. Think about those videos you've probably seen on our air, maybe social media, maybe live impact news of the trees falling over, and you can kind of see all the pollen coming out of them. That's essentially what the wind does. It shakes everything out, and when there's no rain to wash it away, it can actually allow for our pollen levels to go up even higher, which unfortunately is what we got going on. Of course, the pollen season kicked off a little bit early this year in March, but we typically see our peak in mid-April to about mid-May, and that's where we are right now. And we're not going anywhere when it comes to the warm temperatures. You can see the long range 8 to 14 day forecast shows very high chance of above average temps. Remember that these maps don't necessarily show how warm it could be. It's the confidence that it'll be above average. But as we look long term, it looks like upper 70s, lower 80s will dominate the 7 to 10 day. That, of course, is as we get past Wednesday and Thursday. So tomorrow, Thursday, perfect days to get outside. Very April-like, sunshine, 70s, lighter winds. Again, the 80s returning this weekend. Look at Saturday. The Knights, of course, are at home. Charlotte FC is as well. Highest temperature we'll see all week is Sunday for Easter, and then we will bring back in the 80s and even a few opportunities for storms by the end of that 7 to 10 day forecast. Way too early to know if any of those could become strong, but 80s and storms this time of year, pretty good chance we'll at least see some gusty winds. That'll be about this time next week.